This year for 2024 has been absolutely a blast for the fishing channel, everyone. And I've made a lot of great content, and I caught a lot of fish this year. In comparison to last year for 2023, I think this year was definitely better than the year before. I've been only doing this channel now for only like almost 2 years, and honestly, I don't know if the years down the road are going to be as good as how 2024 was, but the future is a mystery anyway. But so looking back from all the adventures for 2024, I think definitely one memory I definitely want to start off with is catching my personal best smallmouth. Looking back at it, it was just something that completely caught me by surprise that Sunday morning. I mean, literally, I get up and I get out there at about 7:30 in the morning, and I'm the only guy fishing at this location, and I literally legit make my very first cast of the day, and I'm reeling it in my lure, and I get hit. And I'm thinking that was kind of a surprise right there to start the morning off. At first I thought maybe it was maybe like a 3 or a 4 pound smallie. When I get it up closer towards the bank and I got my net ready to scoop it in, I realized it's a big smallie, and I'm like trying to think like, wow, this thing is huge. So my first thought was this might be, you know, a personal best, at least maybe 4.5 pounds, something like that. So luckily I got my scale to weigh it, and I get it out of the water, get it unhooked, and I weigh it on the scale, zero it off first, the scale onto the fish's jaw, and when the results came back of the weight of it, I was speechless. It was a lot bigger. It was even more heavy than I thought it was going to be.
Oh my god! 6 pounds 12 ounces. This thing is 6 pounds 12 ounces. Oh my god, you guys, that is a new PB for me. Oh my god. 6 pounds 12 ounces. That thing is almost 7 pounds.
6 pounds 12 ounces. I'm reading this correctly on the scale. 6 pounds 12 ounces. And I'm thinking to myself, is this for real? Is this thing seriously almost 7 pounds? You know, because I'm thinking, this thing, like the girth on it, it doesn't even look like almost a 7 pound bass. It more makes me look like a 5.5 pounder. 5.5. It legit actually read 6 pounds 12 ounces. I was over the moon. Like, I kind of was lost for words. So to have that fish in my possession, I realized I had to get a photo of it on my cell phone, because this is a catch of a lifetime for me. And the fact this was in an area where there is some good sized smallmouth, but smallmouth this big are not really that known. And the fact that I was also fishing in this area all by myself, no other anglers were in the area. It was all me, completely quiet, overcast skies, very calm conditions out there. And very first cast of the day to start the day was my personal best smallmouth. Which, oh my god, it's absolutely amazing, you guys. I'm having flashbacks of it right now. This is just it's really one of those memorable moments that I'm gonna definitely remember for a very long time. I posted it up online, the video. Some people were actually pretty impressed of how amazing my catch was, and it makes me wonder though, like, could there be bigger smallmouth in the area than the one that I caught? I was geeked out. I really was. It was just absolutely awesome. But I didn't keep the smallmouth. I immediately released it, and she went on her way, and I never saw it again after that. I mean, do I think she'll be back there next spring? I honestly don't know. It's a possibility, but I guess only the season will tell. But that was just absolutely hands down one of my favorite moments of fishing literally in my entire life. I think another really great moment that happened this year for me that was definitely a first was when I was fishing at one of the local marinas around here off the edge of the seawall. I actually was just doing bass fishing. That was what I was planning on doing that morning, but something then caught my eye in the water, like literally right near the seawall. And at first I thought it was maybe just some like dead vegetation just floating, but then I noticed it actually was moving. I get down on my knees and go down towards what I'm looking at here. I'm trying to figure out what am I looking at here? I'm thinking, what is that? So then I decided to go ahead and get my net and scoop it up out of the water. And immediately once I get it out of the water, it starts flipping. It starts going all over the place in the net. And that's when I immediately realized it was a little garfish that I had netted in. And believe it or not, I've only seen garfish like once or twice in my entire life, but I've never seen one here in the Great Lakes in person before. And that to me was absolutely amazing to see. That was just so cool. And the fact it was just a baby one in my hands, it was absolutely phenomenal. It was awesome. And luckily my GoPro was recording as I was holding this little guy, and a couple of people come by and they take a look at it, and they were actually amazed of what I actually had just netted in. So that was something very, very cool that I had never caught before in my entire life. I actually had told my aunt about it because apparently I think it was a year or two ago. And they by the way, they run a local campground in the area. She actually had seen a garfish too, right by the shoreline at the little beach that's at the campground. And she did not know there were garfish here in Michigan until she saw one that day. So, and I guess she had also been informed that a few people in the area have actually seen garfish as well, but they're not seen too often around here. And I wasn't exactly sure of what species I caught because it was a baby one. I don't know if it was a longnose or a spotted gar, but now looking back at it, I think it probably was a little longnose gar. Just a baby one. Actually, you know, I take that back. I think it was a baby spotted gar, because I actually looked up like what kind of like environment do they like and stuff, and it seems like that spotted gar do like clean water where there's a little bit of vegetation, and it's deep water as well. It's also, like I said, clean water. And where I was fishing at was pretty much the habitat, the species that gar would like to live in. So eventually I just let the little baby gar go a couple minutes later, and he swam off. But that was just something very, very cool that I had never caught before. So that was definitely my very first ever garfish I caught. And let's be honest, garfish can be pretty hard to catch too because of how so narrow their snouts are. It's absolutely awesome, and just prehistoric looking fish too. It's just absolutely awesome. Some of you probably remember this video I'm probably going to share with you guys here that happened back in May. It was like a week prior before I caught my personal best smallmouth. Right at the very start of the 2024 bass season, everyone, when they were just getting up shallow and starting to make their beds, I actually went out there to the same location a week earlier, and I wanted to see if there was like any like smallmouth up in the area kind of a little early, because we had such a mild winter last year, and spring was also pretty mild. It was very warm. We had an early spring, and I wanted to see if there was anything there. So anyways, as I'm making some casts out there, I got myself a crankbait rigged on my spinning rod and reel combo, and as a matter of fact, the exact crankbait that I'm using, I actually still got the model. I landed my first smallmouth of the year on it within the first like maybe 15 minutes of fishing. As I'm reeling in the smallmouth, I then bend down to pick it up, since it's right there just over the edge of the barge where I'm fishing. And as I reach down to go ahead and lip grab it, apparently, I don't know exactly how I did it, but I guess I I got down, picked it up by his lower lip, and I guess one of the treble hooks on the crankbait was there as well, and it got jammed into my thumb.
Girls, that is it. All right, come here. Come here. Jesus. Oh, that's bad. That is bad. All right, that is a nice smallmouth, but I got a problem, boys. Ooh. So yep, that's a nice smallmouth, everybody. That's probably about a 3-pounder, but we got a problem. Well, eventually I had a feeling this day would come. And it did. Now I gotta figure out, yeah, that's past the barb. That's not good. Not good at all.
Oh my god, I could still feel the pain of that hook going into my thumb here, my right thumb. That was just absolutely brutal. And it literally felt like somebody stabbing me with a knife. That's what it felt like. Somebody stabbing me with a butcher knife. It was very painful. Oh my god. And I realized too at the same time that not only do I have a hook jammed into my thumb, stuck inside my thumb, I also have the smallmouth still hooked also onto the crankbait on the other treble hook set. So I gotta first try and get this bass off because I don't want this smallmouth to go all of a sudden go ballistic while I have a hook still stuck in me on the same lure, because it's just gonna make the pain even a lot more worse. So I carefully used my left hand to get the hook out of the fish's mouth. Managed to got it out, and I tossed that bass back in, and that's when I'm looking down at my thumb thinking, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Because the first thing I noticed, there's nobody else around fishing at this bridge where I'm at. There's literally nobody. I'm the only person there, and it's about barely 8 o'clock in the morning when this happened. I don't have any like plier cutters to push the barb out and snap it off. I didn't have those kind of tools at the time, so I'm on my own. I gotta somehow get this hook out of my thumb. I eventually went back to my tackle bag and started trying to think of a solution, like tried to come up with an idea of what I need to do here, because obviously this hook, the barb is past it's in my skin. It's in my thumb. I carefully then realized I don't know why. Maybe I should have thought about this, but I should have maybe pushed the hook back out. You guys, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think I should have done. But instead, I decided to go ahead and very carefully pull the hook back out. Very carefully. Also using a set of pliers, but I wasn't like yanking on it so hard. This took me between 5 and 10 minutes to very carefully get the hook out. Grace of God, you know, after the first few minutes, I didn't think it was going to come out when I was pulling it out. I didn't think it was gonna, because like I said, the barb's in there, and usually pulling it out that way makes it very tough, and it can actually, I guess, cause more damage to your insides as well. But somehow I managed to get it out. Somehow I did, and it was not as bad as I thought. I didn't lose a whole lot of blood, thankfully. I actually did not lose a lot. That was good, but. Yeah, once I got the hook out of my hand, I immediately just threw all my fishing gear into my car. Then I went down to the local dollar store to get some first aid supplies, some alcohol and bandages. And after getting the wound cleaned it up and putting a band-aid back on it, to probably many of you guys, not many of you guys' surprise, but I went back out and fished out for most of the day. And as a good redemption token, I actually caught some more smallmouth. I thought probably close to 8 to 10 smallmouth that day. So I thought, maybe getting hooked was kind of worth it after all. After I was done fishing, the following day I went to the local Ock Health and I got a tetanus shot, and coincidentally, I actually found out my last tetanus shot was exactly 10 years ago, around the same time, 10 years ago when I got my last tetanus shot. So basically I was due for another one, and that was a good thing I did. And I got a little bit of good advice from my mom too. If you can't remember the last time you got a tetanus shot, everybody, you might as well just go ahead and get one. It doesn't hurt to get one. But yeah, that was crazy. It was on this little Ozark crawfish colored crankbait, curved crankbait. I could not believe that happened to me. I've been hooked a few times, but they were nowhere as bad as this. And you guys know that since I do quite a bit of fishing on this channel, I probably won't be surprised if it happens again. It's not gonna be it's not my first time, and it's not gonna be my last. I think next time I'm gonna definitely be careful handling a bass with some hard lure treble hooks in their mouth next time. And now finally, to kind of conclude, my favorite moments of 2024 was doing the salmon run this past fall, which was absolutely a blast, everyone. I actually saw lots of king salmon in the area this past fall. It was really awesome to finally land a few of them as well, and it was just, it's only something you get to see once a year up here on the Great Lakes, everyone, when they come out shallow in the fall to do their run. Most times of the year, they're way out in the deep waters usually. Sometimes like at least like way deep down below. Sometimes between 50 and 100 feet deep. And you won't see them for most of the year. But the fact that I also, those salmon, everybody, it's truly incredible, like how acrobatic they are and also how fast moving they are for how big they are. They're just such a muscular looking fish, very powerful. And even with the tightest grip you can hold onto one, they will still try to fight pretty good. Like they still got some thrashing in them, and it's just awesome. Just feeling the raw power of such a big fish like that. Just a predatory fish. It's amazing. So yeah, that's all I got, everybody, for that's all of my favorite moments for 2024, and I'm hoping 2025 will be just as exciting as what happened this year, everyone. The future, we don't know what holds, and this coming winter, everybody, hopefully I can do a little bit of ice fishing too, because last year I was bummed out. I had to miss it last year because there wasn't enough ice, but I think this year, this coming winter, I think we'll probably have better luck. So I'll keep you guys posted on that, and feel free to do me a huge favor, you guys, before I end this video. Feel free to smash that like button if you guys haven't done that yet, and also if you guys could, also feel free to hit that subscribe button so you can stay notified for every time I upload a video on the channel here. With that, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and let you all go, and hopefully, like I said, this coming winter we'll have a blast, and hopefully 2025 will just be even a greater production than this year, but only time will tell. So I'll see you guys in the next adventure.